I just wanted to start off by talking about this artist, Ruth Ige. So she's somebody who's relatively recently graduated. Most of the artists in this exhibition I had hoped would be names that would be unfamiliar to people, and it would provide an opportunity in many instances for them to be in their first group show. Some of the artists, like Kim Peters, of course, have been around for years showing their work, but really aren't so well known in the North Island. He's never left Port Chalmers. So a little bit of what this exhibition was to do was to say, hey, there are all these people practicing, and it's a great opportunity to bring them all together and to see what conversations can be set up. So in terms of these three works, and I really like the juxtaposition in terms of the sizes, they're really some quite intimate works that you need to get quite close up to see all the variation in the texture and also in the colours. So the title of this work, "The Silence Knows You Well," it's actually got about 15 different colours in it, and they're ranging through from greys and blues and greens right through to this sort of charcoal black. But if you come close to the work and poke your nose right into it, you can see that in terms of pushing the colour around, she's working very much with the ways in which, you know, things which are lighter colours are going to sort of advance and create, and the darker colours are going to create that natural sense of recession. So this sort of sets up many of the themes of the show. The first of which is that many of these abstract artists are interested in process as a way of continuing their practice. So although they might be recently graduated, they're wanting to sustain a practice by looking at all of the ways in which they can manipulate the materials and create different effects, and sort of keeping on with the practice to be able to create all the infinite variation with shape and space that they do. So the tradition of abstraction, of course, goes back to the early 20th century with artists like the wonderful Malevich and the first suprematist artists. But each of the artists in this exhibition, I would say, are working with a kind of gestural abstraction. Even Sally Gabori, although we can't really call her an abstract artist because she's representing country, most of these artists are pushing paint around and creating a way in which we can read the work in terms of the time and the elapse of time, and the way in which they've manipulated space in order to make the pictorial effects happen. So that's Ruth Ige. So the three works here that are a kind of nice little series have all got fairly dark titles that relate, have a kind of reference, poetic reference to something outside of themselves. "The Silence Knows You Well," "For All That You Have Carried," and "The Night Welcomes You." And Lucinda has written a little bit in the catalogue about how she's an artist who's interested in ethnicity and looking at the discrimination against different ethnicities in New Zealand. But I think they can also be read just in terms of their beautiful gestural effects and the ways in which, if you've got that associative title of night and silence and so on, you can be, a sort of mood is set up for you in reference to where she's taking you on a little journey with these works.